Good morning, everybody. I still have 5 minutes, so I can still say good morning. May I please start to get your guys' attention? I know that it is a very festive Wednesday. Nice. Thank you guys for all being here. My name is Cynthia Giles, and I am the owner and operator of Cutthroat Marketing, and I have the pleasure of being your board chair this year. And normally, I would introduce the person doing the invocation, but I'm actually going to introduce Carrie. She has a surprise for us today.
Yes. Okay. I have a surprise for our invocation today. So if all of you will please stand and watch behind me.
Well, good morning, Irmo. How's everybody doing? Bill Danielson, are you there? Are you behaving yourself? Mr. Mayor, it's good to see you. Carrie, Chamber of Commerce, guys, I miss you very much. But here I am in beautiful Long Island. This is the new church that I've come to serve. I can't wait to come back sometime soon and to just visit with you and hear how everything is going. But until then, let me lead you in prayer this morning. Let's pray. Gracious God, we praise you and we thank you in this Easter season for new beginnings. And Lord, we pray that you will make a way for every person listening this morning, every person who is in this place where we celebrate those who lead and who love the community of Irmo so well. And so, gracious God, bless them in their business, in their leadership, in their families, in their friendships. Gracious God, bless them abundantly. We ask all these things in Jesus' name. Amen. It's great to see you. I'll see you soon.
Y'all please remain standing for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. All right. I thought y'all would like that. We miss Reverend QB very much, and I keep in touch with him. And he said, tell everybody hi, he's doing great. And he has about 250 parishioners in his new church, which is very different from what he had here. So he's doing well. His kids are doing well. So I thought y'all would really enjoy that with it being Holy Week. We've got quite a few people here in attendance today that I'd like to recognize. First up, Representative Chip Huggins, if you'll just wave your hand back there. Thank you for being with us today. We have Chief Bobby Dale from Irmo PD. Thank you. Our Assistant Chief, John Hendricks. Thanks for being with us. We have Lieutenant Grinstead making her appearance at Luncheon today. Good to see you. Sergeant Williams, glad to have you here. We have our Town Administrator, Courtney Dennis, somewhere in the house. Good to see you. We have Councilman Bill Danielson with us, obviously. Nice to see you. And making her first appearance with us today, Councilwoman Dr. Barb Waldman is with us today. And did I miss anybody? I know we will introduce our speaker shortly. I think I got everybody. There's one person I did want to recognize. Our dear, sweet, wonderful, wonderful Doc Holliday turned 99 last Thursday. You looking good, Doc. Glad to have you here as always. All right. I would like to recognize my board members, please. If you are a board member, if you will please stand and be recognized. I've got a good showing here today. Thank you all y'all for everything that y'all do. I appreciate all of y'all so much. Round of applause. And then our diplomats did not have to, I don't think any had to wear hairnets today, so that was good. So our diplomats, thank you for being here with us. You guys are amazing, guys and gals. All right, We're going to take the wireless microphone around. If this is the first time you've attended a chamber meeting, if you'll please stand up and introduce yourself, tell us who you are and what you do. And if you are a new partner and you've joined since the last meeting, if you will please stand. Go ahead.
Good morning, everyone. My name's Job Stringfellow. I'm the new director at LMC Irmo, right across the street. I'm here for all your healthcare needs. I'm so glad to be part of your community and get to know everyone. If you want to stop by my office anytime, go ahead. Open door policy. Come talk about anything. I'm glad to be here.
All right. Thank you, Joe.
Hello, everyone. My name is Paul Erickson. I'm a resident of this area for the last 25 years. I just wanted to let everybody know that I'm running for State House of Representatives, District 71, and I'd appreciate support. I'll be around after the meeting if anybody wants to ask any questions or just wants to talk. Thank you very much.
Welcome, Paul.
Hi, I'm Ray Amarell. I work for Dominion Energy. I've lived in Irmo for about 30 years. I manage dam safety, DAM safety for Dominion. So I keep track of the hydro dams and the water flows and Lake Murray levels and all those kinds of things. Thanks very much for the invitation.
All right, welcome. Glad to have you here. Back over here, Cindy. Got one more? That's where you need the music. We need the music.
Hi, everybody. Thank you. My name is Chris Felt, and I work with Chuck for Fully Promoted. I think you probably already know what our business is, but pretty much you have a logo, we can put it on just about anything. I'm really grateful to be here. Fun little fact, and I don't know if Sheriff Lott remembers, but I was part of a group with Mike Geneva several years ago that awarded him an honorary black belt. So special for me to hear him speak today.
All right, welcome.
Thank you.
Glad to have you with us.
Hey everyone, I'm Jamie Dunn. I'm recently changed and into the area now with Century Glass as account manager, and so look glad to be here and look forward to relationships building over the next few years. And if there's anybody have a need for glass, I'll be a resource. Thanks a lot.
All right, welcome.
Yes, my name is Charles Elford, and I've been around Irmo for a few years, and I'm currently in the farming business, so if you're enjoying your meal today, thank a farmer.
Good afternoon, everyone. My name is Avery Lucas, and this is Jeremy Lucas. And we are a part of Globe Life Family Heritage Division right here in Irmo, Columbia area, Chapin, and Newberry. So we are so grateful to be here with you all and to meet all of these fabulous people. And we are here for your supplemental insurance needs. So give us a chat.
All right, welcome. Glad to see y'all.
Anybody else?
Did we get everybody? Yeah? Welcome everybody who's here. If this is your first time, we hope that you will definitely come back and spend some time with us. It looks like everybody is enjoying their meal. I'm going to ask David to come on up from the Cooperative Conference Center over off Fernandina Road. Y'all have been there a lot. We've been partners with them for a very long time. So I'm going to turn it over to you real quick. Tell them what you got.
Thanks. Good afternoon. Thank you for having us. We just want to start off by thanking the farmers for allowing us to provide you with the food. We are a medium-sized meeting facility located off Piney Grove and St. Andrews off Fernandina. We are a full-service venue, so we have all your tables, chairs. We do all the catering in-house. Kelly in the back there is our event manager. She does a wonderful job. She'll take great care of you. So if you need some meeting space or you're having a wedding, party, any kind of social gathering, please feel free to check us out, like us on Facebook. So appreciate you all coming in today. Thanks.
All right, thank you. Thank you for feeding us. I cannot wait to eat. I always have to eat at like 2 o'clock in the afternoon because I don't like to eat before I get up here and talk. A couple of other people I wanted to talk about before we get to our sponsor. Ahead of the meeting, OxyTime came in and took care of sanitizing the room. We thank them. Our sweet friend Lee Essig over here from Lee Essig Photography. She takes pictures for us. Thank you so much. We appreciate you. Raymond up there in the crow's nest who makes all the magic happen. Thank you. And of course, Cutthroat Marketing, they do all the things for us. So it's too much to even name. So thank you for making us as relevant as we are and whatnot. Okay, Troy, you ready? Did you just take a bite of food? Okay. You want to come up here and speak, and then we'll do the video? Okay, perfect. I'm going to ask Troy Simpson to come up here. Most of y'all know him. He's from Mid-Carolina Electric Co-op. They are our sponsor today, so without further ado.
Thank you, Carrie, and to all the staff here. I'd love for the chamber staff to stand up just for a moment. Carrie's standing, but the chamber staff, do y'all mind standing up?
You made Ginger stand up.
Okay. And that's exactly why. We are grateful for the space that you guys stand in, the way you continually connect us as a community, and the difference you make each and every day. We're stronger because of your leadership, and we're stronger because of your care. So from all of us, thank you. There's a great deal that happens behind the scenes. If you've ever been a part of chamber work, it's tough work. Some folks are your friends, and some folks you're still deciding, all right? But somehow, some way, month to month, day by day, they bring it, and they bring it well. So again, from all of us, from where you stand and where you lead, we're very grateful. Thank you. I am going to go ahead and cue up the video, and while that's queuing, I want to thank some folks from my work family who are here today. To my left, we have our CEO of Carolina Connect. Glenn is here with us today. So Glenn, if you'll wave. Lee Ayers, our Vice President of Engineering, he's here as well. His wife, Janice Ayers, she's over our corporate relations. And welcome back to Lacey. Lacey has a new little one. She's 2 days off of maternity leave, so we're glad she's here as well. So thank y'all for allowing us to be here, and we'll go ahead and cue up the video now.
Hi, I'm Bob Pauling, CEO of Mid-Carolina Electric Cooperative. Mid-Carolina has a long, rich history of serving our members and our communities as no one else can. I'm excited to let you know that history is repeating itself as we build the cooperative of the future. As you're about to hear, we're sincerely honored to be in your corner. Thank you.
Over 80 years ago, the cooperatives brought literally life and light to where there was none. So many of the rural areas across South Carolina and across our nation literally woke up to darkness each day unless they could light a lantern. And that's a rich part of our history, but it's an important part of our DNA, I believe. We carry that over into what we do every day at Mid-Carolina.
I think oftentimes people look at a utility as one big blanket. They're all the same, but we're not. We're owned by the members, for the members, and we're a lot smaller, and our employees are really interested in the members' best interest in giving back to them.
When a member understands that any money we make throughout a given year, we're able to give back to them, I mean, that always makes everybody happy.
In many ways, when we formed our internet cooperative, Carolina Connect, it's an opportunity to make life better for our members who desperately need high-speed internet in rural areas, and many areas closer to town centers. Children can study from home. Moms and dads can work from home. Economically, it can be a game changer, but it's also exciting to know that we can continue the tradition of bringing change and making lives better for individuals wherever they may be.
I think we're up to the challenge, changing over time with what's going on in our economy. That's something that we look forward to.
One of the things I love about the cooperative model is our commitment to the community. We ask of our employee family to serve.
I'm not sure I could imagine doing this work anywhere else. It's the same throughout our system. You meet people and they're proud of their community, they're proud of where they're living, and you just want to buy into that and help them out as much as you can.
We stand on the shoulders, literally, of men and women who saw to the whole idea of putting infrastructure in the ground and hanging the lines in the air. If there was one thought or notion that I could share with the members of Mid-Carolina and folks who are beyond Mid-Carolina, is the whole idea that we care. Not only do we live and work here in these communities,
but we really do want to come alongside and make it better. And we have a running joke here at the Chamber. This will be the first time our video is actually played in 3 years, so we're really excited about that. So if you would like a copy, we'd be happy to send you one from there, but we're really thrilled. I give Carrie a hard time from there. It is great to be here today. Thank you. I want to turn the table just a little bit. Thank you for what you do here in our community. Thank you for the way you lead. Thank you for the way you care. And I don't believe you can separate those if you're going to be effective in any arena. If you think about the days that we have come through together, that we're emerging from still, we're still figuring out life. And if anybody's telling you differently, they haven't really figured it out either. The truth is we need each other. We're better together. We're stronger together. And I would even go so far as to say we need to exercise more as we emerge into this new day in the days ahead, exercising the whole idea of same team. I'm sitting beside my friends from Dominion right here, and that's not a ploy or whatever. Billy and I have been friends for years. But I think you'll find in our community, we all care about our community. We may have different business models, and we have different perspectives, but at the end of the day, on behalf of our community, it's same team. So think about that as you lead and as you care, as you walk into new days. Even the privilege that we have to gather here in this room today, to pledge allegiance to the flag of our great country. Think of all the places in the world right now, this very instant, that cannot happen. We're incredibly blessed. For all the employee family at Mid-Carolina Electric, thank you. Thank you for the opportunity to serve. Thank you for the opportunity to walk alongside you and lock arms to make our communities better and stronger. Have a wonderful day.
Thank you, Troy, as always, always uplifting, and my goodness, thank goodness that thing played. I dreamed about it last night. I know, I figured you would. That has been a joke. Everything they've ever tried to play has just not played, and so we have a victory today, and that feels good. All right, a couple of announcements before we get started with Sheriff Lott. Bark to the Park. Where are you? There you are. Jack. Bark to the Park is finally happening this year, and it's going to be at Saluda Shoals on April 23rd. What time? Okay, 11 o'clock in the morning. So if you love your fur baby, take it out and help them raise some money. They're in desperate need of fundraising. So Bark to the Park, that's April 23rd. And also our friends over at Exit Palmetto Real Estate. David, you said 40 pounds of food. That's what was brought to Coffee Talk yesterday? Yes. 40 pounds of food. So for you coffee talkers, good job on that canned food drive. Well done. And this Friday and Saturday, they can bring it to your office on Dutch Fork Road. This Friday and Saturday, they're in the Ballantine Village Shopping Center around back, right? And the Easter Bunny will be there. So if you got kids and you want to have a picture with the Easter Bunny. My kids would never sit with the Easter Bunny because it's so crazy looking, but but it'll be there, and bring canned goods, and there's a raffle, and for each can that you bring, you get entered in the raffle, and it's either a 2-night stay on Fripp Island or an Easter basket. That's what's up for raffle. So please support them. It goes to sharing God's love and We Care, correct? I did that so good. I didn't even read it. I'm so good. Okay. And then we've got 2 more events coming up. May 5th is our Cinco de Mayo edition of karaoke on the back patio. Y'all, if you haven't been yet, what is stopping you from coming to karaoke? Just come and watch. It's so funny. I don't even know what else to say. It's just so funny. So come out. Enjoy. The Food Academy is going to have a taco bar for us, because it's Cinco de Mayo, and we'll have margaritas and all that kind of stuff out there. So come out, celebrate with us. It's always a fun time. And John, of course, will be coming down from Greenville to host karaoke for us. So we hope to see you there. And then Red, White, and Blues returns May 19th. And It is live on the website finally, so there are tons of sponsorship opportunities. The town of Irmo is presenting this event for us. We will have Rhythm 54 out there, and there are booth spaces available. There's signage, sponsorship available. Tickets are $35, and you can go to our website and buy all of that. So I hope to see you there for that. Okay, you ready? Yeah? So last time I went to read Sheriff Lott's bio, and he literally walked up and took the microphone out of my hand. So my introduction of the Richland County Sheriff is that, well, if you don't know who he is, then I just don't know what you're doing with your life. So without further ado, Sheriff Leon Lott.
Last time I threatened her I'd shoot her in the foot if she read my whole bio, so I'm glad I didn't have to threaten her today. It's great to be back here in Irmo. It's always fun to speak to this group. A lot of friends here, a lot of good people that I've known for years. I'm going to start off with my good buddy Chip Huggins. Chip and I have been friends for many, many years. I'm kind of sad that he's walking away from the State House, but you know, Chip is getting kind of old. You notice he's got a little bit of gray in his hair, and it's getting gray every time. So Chip is starting to do what a lot of senior citizens start doing. That's they go to the mall and they just sit around and watch people. Well, a couple of weeks ago, Chip was doing that. He was at the mall, and he was sitting there watching people, and this young man walked in. And this young man just didn't have normal hair. He had a big old head full of hair, and it was every color of the rainbow that you could imagine. Pink, blues, etc. It was just very colorful. And as soon as he walked in, Chip just focused dead on him like a laser beam, just staring at him. And it was very obvious to everybody that Chip was staring at him, and the young man saw that too. The man walked up to Chip and said, "Sir, are you staring at me?" And Chip kind of dropped his head a little bit and said, "Yes, sir, I am." He said, "Sir, are you staring at my hair?" Chip dropped his head even more and said, "Yeah, I'm staring at your hair." The man asked Chip, have you not ever done something stupid in your life before? Chip said, "Yeah. Not too long ago, probably about 25 years ago, I had a little bit too much to drink, ended up at the zoo, made love to a peacock, and I'm scared to death you're my son." So, young man straightened it out, and that was not Chip's son. So. I know Chip very well, so I can tell that on him too, so thanks for being the butt of my joke today. My wife and I, every morning before we leave to go to work, she's a cop too, and before we leave, we always say, "What are you doing? What's your day entail?" So I was telling her about me being here today and just how much I thought it was such a big deal and, just kind of unique and special that I get to come talk to such a great group. I looked at her and said, "Bridget, in your wildest dreams, you ever think your husband be such a big deal he'd get invited to speak to a group like that?" She looked at me with this drop-dead look, said, "One, you're never in my wildest dreams. Today is Wednesday. Take the damn trash out before you leave." So to the ladies here, thank y'all for keeping us grounded. Sometimes we try to get, our egos get kind of big and we go off sometimes, but thank you. I am going to start off with something, though, about talking about a very special team, and that is the University of South Carolina Women's Gamecock team. I am a huge women's basketball fan, and I don't think it's a secret to many people. Dawn Staley and I are very good friends. We developed a relationship a long time ago, and we have a very close relationship, but I'm not going to talk about her basketball to begin with. I'm going to talk about other things that I don't think people realize what she does, just how much she does out in the community. She has an organization called Inner Soul, and it's about tennis shoes. And every year she gives thousands of brand new tennis shoes away to kids that you just don't ever hear about. She grew up in the projects in Philadelphia, and she knew what it was to be without shoes or designer shoes. And since she's become successful, she's made it a point in her life to make sure that she goes out and helps young people, and she does that. We do a program with Edwards Children's Homes every year. Never gets publicized. We don't do it for publicity, but we bring all those kids in, and Coach Staley comes every year, and she gets out and she dances with those kids. And yes, people make fun of her and her dancing, but she don't care. She's going to dance anyway. but she dances with these kids and she brings them shoes. That's the type of person that she is. And a lot of people don't realize she loves cops. If she hadn't been a great basketball player and a coach, she'd probably been a cop. She is so interested in learning about police work and what we do. And some years ago, I made her swore in as a special deputy. She's went through training, and when she's not during the season, she's out riding with deputies. When COVID hit a couple years ago and the season got canceled, she had about 2 weeks that they didn't know what they were going to do. She went and rode with a deputy every single one of those days. She takes the opportunity to go out and learn and see what we do so she can take it back to her players and other young people that she has influence over and tells them what we're really about, what this uniform really stands for, that we're just humans and that we're out here, and sometimes we have bad ones that make bad mistakes and that we all read and hear about it. But by and large, most of the people who put this uniform on go do it for the good reasons. And she takes that platform that she's got to spread that word. So when people say she's a great coach, she's a much more better person. She does so much more. And people say, well, why does she have such a big fan base? Is it because she wins games? No, that helps. But it's also because she's so personable. She hates public speaking. She don't like to stand up here and do what I'm doing. But she'll go around every table in this room if she was here, and she would speak to people. She would hug them. She would take a picture with them. That's her way of making contact with our community, and she's done such a great job. We've got a jewel in her that I don't think will ever leave here. She loves being here. I know there's a lot of talk about her going different places. She's not going to leave here. She loves it here, and she's built a dynasty here, and it's going to continue. And got a parade for her today, downtown Columbia. Her and her girls have earned it. And I would not bet that there won't be a parade for them next year because she is reloaded up and they coming back for bear. So it'll be good. But just when you see people and you see them in a public eye, maybe sometimes think about what they do when that camera's not on. Chip is one of them. Chip does a lot when the camera's not on. We've got other people in this room who do the same thing. That is the true measurement of a person, is what they do when the camera's not on and when they're not really doing it just to do it. They're doing it because of the goodness and love they have in their heart for people. And I get asked a lot, and I've been a cop for 47 years. People say, well, how much longer are you going to do it? The answer is simple, a couple of reasons. One, when it's not any fun anymore, I still love it. I still feel like I'm effective, and the people still want me here, and I'll be there. And it's because of the young people. And we got one here today. Jackson, where you at, Jackson, Dennis? Stand up, Jackson. Come on, stand up, Jackson. Jackson's my buddy. And when I see young people like Jackson who are growing, and I have an opportunity to do things that I can do to make sure that they grow up safe and he grows up learning the right from wrong and having good role models. That, to me, that's what it's all about. And I think, and I'm going to keep on doing it until the Jacksons are taking my place. And I hope one day that he'll follow in his dad's footsteps and then also his friend's footsteps, me, and maybe do the same thing that I'm doing. So, but Jackson wanted to be here today because his mom and dad's here, and he heard that I was speaking. He's on spring break, so he had a choice between a swimming pool and being here with me. Jackson, you picked the wrong thing, okay? I do want to talk about a few topics we got. First one is, I know everybody, how many of y'all watch Live PD? Come on, be honest. Everybody wants to know. It is still coming back. I actually got a text message from the executive producer and the owner last week. What happened with Live PD is it became so popular and then they took it off. Now you got so many networks are wanting it that they're in a bidding war. So they're holding out who's going to pay them the most money. So just hurry up and get the daggum thing on, okay? But eventually it's going to be back. It was very popular, but it also did a lot of things for us that I couldn't accomplish coming to events like this, and that was to meet people. We used it as a avenue for people to get to know our deputies. You never saw me on Live PD, and that was on purpose. The show wasn't about me. It was about our deputies. I wanted to showcase our deputies so people could see who they were beyond just that uniform, just to see who they were and the emotions they had and just how much they cared. And I think we were able to accomplish that. You saw one of our deputies break down on TV and on one of the shows and talk about how she was a homeless vet and lived out of a car. I never knew that until she broke down and said that. So you found out so many things. You found out that Garrow Brown is actually a real live person who has arms about that big. But so it gave the citizens of Richland County and pretty much the world opportunity to see what COPS is really about. And it personalized them. And it did a lot for us at Richland County. It put a big spotlight on us. And we didn't mind a spotlight. You know, live PD is probably the future of law enforcement. Probably 5 years, 10 years, probably at the most from now. Everything that a cop does is going to be probably live stream where you can watch it. We got cameras now, cameras in the cars, cameras on body cams. You know, pretty much stuff is recorded, but just like live PD, you got to see as it happened. In the future, that's what it's going to be. And we just wanted to get ahead of that and do the future today. So that was one of the reasons we decided to get into live PD and to just reach out and touch people that lived in Richland County. An added benefit that I didn't know about and didn't realize was recruiting. I never thought about it as recruiting. We have people who today still come to work at Richland County from Michigan, from Oklahoma, from New York, and I'll interview them. I always do the final interview, and I say, well, you know, why did you decide to come to Richland County from New York? And the first thing they always say is the weather. Then I'll look at them and say, all right, now tell me the truth. Live PD. This is live PD. They saw us on live PD. I hired one a couple weeks ago, same way, and I said, well, why did you pick Richland County? Because my daddy watched live PD and said that was the only place I could go to work. I said, I'll take that. So it had a lot of extra benefits, but it is coming back. It's just, I'm impatient, and they pushing my patience, but it'll come back, and I think it'll be even better than what it was before because it'll be tweeted a little bit, but it's going to come back and continue to showcase what law enforcement's about. And yes, we will be on it. That's a given. We were the original agency that was on it and the only one that stayed on the whole time, so we'll do that. We talk about what's going on in our community right now, and Chief Holbrook and Bobby and I talk about it. All of us talk about it. It's young people with guns. That's the biggest problem we've got now in our community is young people with guns who just do not have a conscience or any respect for human life whatsoever. We've already had 11 murders in Richland County already this year. 11. We had 2 people killed yesterday. We had a 16-year-old that was shot this past weekend, killed by another 16-year-old. We're seeing more and more violence with our young people that have guns. And people want to know why. And to me, it starts at the home. We don't have parents that are real true parents. You know, Jackson's parents are parents. They know where Jackson's at all the time. They teach him the difference between right and wrong. They're not his best friend. And, you know, being a parent doesn't mean you're the best friend of your child. You're your parent. And sometimes parents have to, you know, set rules and guidelines. But unfortunately, we've got so many adults who live in a house with kids who are not a real parent, who don't know where they're at, don't know what they're doing, don't know who their friends are, don't teach them right from wrong. And look at what our kids live with every single day. Have you ever watched the video games they play? What do they all do? They're blowing up stuff, they're shooting stuff. Look at the music they hear. What does this got to do? It glorifies violence and drugs and weapons. Their heroes, what do their heroes all show? Money and weapons and drugs and abusing women and stuff. So our kids today are living and growing where they just psychologically bombarded constantly with this is the way life is. This is what you should be doing in life. When that's not real life. When you shoot somebody in real life, you don't push a button and they get back up and, you know, and do it again like they do in the games. They don't understand that when you shoot that bullet out of a gun, you can't call it back. And so they're not really living in reality, and they're not being taught by their parents to respect human life. How someone can and we had this 2 weeks ago, how someone can fill a pitcher up of gasoline and go pour it on a woman and then chase her down the street throwing matches at her until he burns her up. Where does somebody have that type of meanness in them? Where do we get 8, 9, and 10-year-olds who at 3 o'clock in the morning are breaking into a church? 5 times. 5 times they broke into a church. Finally, we caught them, got them on video and caught them. 8, 9, and 10 years old. At 3 o'clock in the morning. Where's the parents at? What are those kids doing out? Every night throughout, just really throughout the United States, but throughout anywhere, we have young people who go through neighborhoods and they open doors and they steal guns out of the cars. And I would like everybody to humor me for a minute, please. Everybody get your keys out. Everybody get your keys out. Get your keys out. Just kind of hold them up in the air. Put them up in the air. Push that little button that locks it. How daggum hard was that? Come on now. How much effort did that take? None. Hardly none. But when we get home, we think we're in our castle and it's got a moat surrounded with alligators in it and nobody can get to our cars. And we leave our stuff in there. That's just inviting young people to steal it. And odds are they're not going to break a window to get in your car, but if the door's unlocked, they're just going to open it up and go in. And then we leave so much stuff in there. Of course, we got to leave the spare key to our car in there. So what has happened then? Your car gets stolen. You go, oh my God, how did my car get stolen? Because you left the key in there. We're helping young people become criminals because we're not making it hard for them. And we all have to be part of the solution and not be part of the problem. And right now we've got so many people that are part of the problem because they leave stuff in their cars, they leave it unlocked, and these young people go through neighborhoods. They'll bypass a pocketbook or a computer because they're going after guns. That's the hottest thing on the street is a gun. And we're giving it to them. We're giving them to them. And then these guns end up in murders. They end up killing people. And we're losing so many young people every single day by that. 10, 12 years old who are dying by violence. And it's not just random stuff. Most of them, what we see on these shootings, that there was an intended target, there was a reason. They were in a drug deal and it becomes a robbery and they all got guns. Or like last weekend, 2 16-year-olds, one's buying a gun, one's selling a gun. They both already got guns and they see each other's guns. They pull them out and they start shooting at each other. And one of them ends up dead and the other one ends up in the cemetery. Ends up in prison. And that's what I tell people. A gun's going to get you one or two places. It's going to get you in the cemetery. It's going to get you in prison. But our young people don't hear that, and we have to do more to hear that. And so when they don't get it at home, then we have to fill that gap. We've all heard the saying, it takes a village to raise a child. It really does more now than any because a child ain't getting it at home. So the village has got to be us, our churches, our schools, our civic groups, businesses. Everybody's got to start filling that void. And we have to make it where these kids can participate. One of my biggest pet peeves right now is athletics. We have priced out kids who need to be playing sports. We priced it out so high that they cannot do it. Just think how much it costs to go play a sport now if you're a child. My grandson Lawson's birthday was about 3 weeks ago. So I said, I'm going to take you to Dick's. Well, I'll buy you something. He says, Papa, I want a brand new bat. I said, all right, we'll go buy a bat. No big deal. Go in there, he picks out his bat. It's $450. So I said, Lawson, you ain't getting that bat. Well, then Jackson's friend's Colson's birthday, and I said, I'll take you to Dick's and buy you something too. So we go in there, and he wants a wooden bat. And I grew up playing baseball. Wooden bat, not a big deal. $90 for a wooden bat. How can the kids who really need to be involved in an organized sport afford these? The parents cannot afford it. Just think of the registration fees, all the fancy stuff they got to have. The shoes, the gloves, the sunglasses, all of that stuff. These kids want to have these things, and they're almost forced to get them by the sports that they're playing in. And these families that need it the most cannot afford it. They can't. I grew up playing sports. I don't remember my parents ever having to pay anything for me to go play ball. I had my own glove, and that was about it. And if I broke the wooden bat, we'd put a few nails in it and tape it up and keep on using it. But you can't do that today. And Lawson didn't get that $450 bat. When I got home, when we got back to his house, I bought him something else. And he showed me his bat bag, and he's got 3 bats already in it. I said, what are you doing with these bats? How many bats do you need? Pop, I need one for all different things. These brand new ones coming out. But that's what our kids are having to live with. So there's parents who are just barely struggling to get by and put food on the table, and their child wants to go play a sport, they can't do it. So where does that young person learn teamwork? Where do they learn it at? Because they can't play on a team. Where can they go out and if you're a great athlete, yeah, somebody will find you and they'll help you. But what if you're just a mediocre player, just a player, just somebody who wants to go play football, basketball, or baseball, and you're not great, but you want to do that, and your parents can't afford it? Where do you go? There's nowhere. There's nowhere. So we got to do a better job with our park system and our athletic leagues and stuff, and helping kids be able to do that. That's part of that village that we have to have that's going to turn this problem we've got around. It's going to take all of us to do that. And it takes everybody in this room some way when you get that opportunity. And you don't have to be a Don Staley who goes out and buys thousands of pairs of shoes. It might just be somebody who can find a kid that needs some help, who wants to go do something. Because we know the key to keeping kids out of gangs. That's keeping them busy doing something positive. You know, every child wants somebody to spend time with them and wants somebody to love them. And if they don't get that at home or somewhere else, guess where they're going to get it? They're going to get it from the gang. The gang's going to show them time. They're going to show them love. And then it's also going to get them involved in violence and drugs. So the answer is simple on how we can keep young people from getting involved. We got to just get them involved in that stuff. Give them something positive. This is spring break this week. Again, I'm going to pick on Jackson. Where's he at? He's with his parents. He's with his mom this week. She's got something for him to do every single day. But not every child has that type of parents who does that. So when parents can't do it, then we have to do it as a community to find them something to do. The summertime's coming. Summer scares me to death because our kids are unoccupied. We know where they're at when they're in school, and they're doing what they're supposed to do in school. But where are they at during the summertime? And that's when we see violence goes up with our young people in summer, because they don't have anything to do, because the parents either don't want to do it or they can't afford to do it. So we have to do stuff with our kids. So let's look at things that we can do and see what we can do to help kids. Another issue that we're dealing with is mental health. Your largest mental health facility is not our hospitals or Department of Mental Health. It's the detention center. It's the jail. And that's not where someone with mental health needs to be. It's not against the law to be mentally ill. But unfortunately, that's where a lot of them end up, because who gets called to deal with them? Us. When there's nobody else to call, who gets called? It's those of us in the uniform, and we have to deal with them. And unfortunately, too many of them end up in the jail. 2 years ago, we answered over 2,700 mental health calls. Not one of them was a crime. They were all somebody in mental crisis. Now, you're in mental crisis, and a marked police car pulls up in front of your house, and a uniformed deputy gets out. You think that mental stress you got just went up or went down? It went up. But that was us. We were the ones getting called on that. So I knew we had to do something different. And I'm not going to say we had to get out of the mental health calls, but we had to do something where we did better. So we partnered with the Department of Mental Health. And what they've furnished us now is a clinician, and we partnered them up with a deputy in plain clothes, unmarked car. So when we have calls with somebody that's having a mental crisis, Somebody who looks like me doesn't show up. It's somebody who looks like them. They show up, and they deal with that mental health crisis. And they get the people the help that they need. That mental health clinician can access records. They can prescribe if they need some type of medicine to help them out. If they need to be transported, they can do all of that. What we're doing now is helping those who are having mental crisis to get the help that they need instead of having to go to jail. Unfortunately, some of these incidents turn violent. A month ago, we were involved in one where we had somebody who was in a mental crisis, and it actually cried and asked for help and didn't get it. And then he attacked his family, and he was attacking his family, and they called for us, and we got there, and he attacked one of our deputies, and we had to do something that we never like to do, and that's take someone's life. But our deputy had no choice. I put the videos out, the body cams out as soon as possible because I think people needed to see it. That's been a policy that I've always had, is that when we're in a critical incident, we can't sit back and let people write the false narrative. Hours after that incident happened, there was already social media going crazy that he was handcuffed and laying on the ground, and we shot him 10 times in the back. And that's what people who saw it, people are going to believe the first thing they hear. So my policy has always been, let's get out in front of it and put the truth out. So it happened on Saturday night about 6 o'clock. By 12 o'clock on Sunday, I was already showing the body cams to various groups from the NAACP, Black Lives Matter, etc., my Citizens Advisory Council, elected officials from that area, showing them the truth. And there was a protest and march that was planned that Sunday at 3 o'clock. And at 1 o'clock, when all these different groups had got finished looking at the body cams and saw exactly what happened, they canceled everything. The council said, this is not something we need to protest and riot about. And so we've been our biggest enemy in law enforcement by not letting the community see what actually happens when we're involved in incidents like that. And that's shame on us for not doing that. We have to be transparent. And people are just not going to take your word anymore. They want to see the pictures. So if there is a body camera or a car camera, they expect to see it. And my job is to make sure that we get it out. So we get it out as fast as we can. I think I know in this case it really helped, and it's helped out in just about all the cases. And the narrative that we're always out here shooting people and killing people. The shooting we just had was the first one where we've actually taken someone's life in Richland County since 2013. That's been a long time since we've actually had to use deadly force. But that's not the narrative that you hear a lot of times. And so our job is to get the true story out there. And that's what I try to do as much as I can, and get out in front of the media and the cameras. But I also need the people to see it. I can't talk to all 450,000 people that live in Richland County. So over 25 years ago, I created a Citizens Advisory Council. And it's about 27 citizens that represents the different organizations and different neighborhoods and groups in Richland County. They're part of our policy and procedure. They're part of the Sheriff's Department. They have full access to everything. And so whenever we do have a critical incident, they're immediately called in, and they get to see exactly what happened. So they can go back to their communities, they can go back to their groups and tell them, this is what happened. No, he was not laying on the ground handcuffed and shot 10 times in the back. This is what happened. They're able to do that. That is part of our transparency that we've created that I think has been so important. And I wish everybody would be that way, but unfortunately it's not. And when you see agencies that are not transparent and don't put information out, then that's when you see social unrest, that's when you see riots, that's where you see people hurting people and damaging property because they just don't know. They don't know what the truth is. And that falls back on us. So we're changing that. We've been doing this now for 26 years that way, and that's where we're going to continue to do with it. I think that is my responsibility to the people of Richland County is to let them know what we do and why we do it. And I get questioned a lot about the Citizens Advisory Council by other sheriffs and chiefs and say, well, citizens don't know what we do. They shouldn't have a say-so in what we do. My response to that is, who the heck do we work for? We work for the citizens. Why shouldn't we know what their voice says? Why shouldn't we know what their perspective on an incident is? We look at it through the eyes of a cop. We need to look at it through the eyes of the citizens too, and let them have a voice. Why shouldn't they know what we do and why we do it and how we do it? You know, that they should know that. That way, that's part of being a team. And you know, I've always believed in the team concept, TEAM. Together, everyone accomplishes more. So why not accomplish what we do by having that team? And so we have that team. And you know, I think it's been successful because I think we've avoided having a lot of problems that you've seen in other communities when something happens. We just don't have that. And we've built a trust in the community, and it doesn't happen overnight. That's been a concentrated effort by us for many, many years. You look at Richland County, and it's very diverse. We got a little bit of everything. And it's our responsibility to go to all these different communities and build relationships with them. It's not up to them to come to us. It's up to us to go to them and build that bridge and work with them. And you start by having a department that reflects the community. And that's what we do. We've opened up our doors and the hearts to anybody who wants to become a deputy that qualifies can be a deputy. We got Muslim deputies. We're probably the only agency in South Carolina that's got a group of Muslim deputies. We go to the mosque. I go to the mosque. You know, we've got deputies of every race, size, color, you name it, we've got it. I ain't got over all of them with these tattoos yet, but I'm old school, but we're letting them grow beards and have tattoos. Right, Irmo? I had to change. I had to change. They hammered me for years about that, and I finally gave in. And it was like giving each one of them a $20,000 raise that they could grow a beard and show their tattoos. But that's, you know, and people talk about, you know, nobody wants to be a cop anymore. I challenge you to go to the police academy on Friday morning when they have graduation. You're going to see people there that still want to come out here and do this job. There's still a lot of people do it. It is one of the most exciting, challenging professions I think you can ever get into. You never know from one minute to the next what's going to happen. To me, that's challenging. But you also have the opportunity to help people. And that's what I tell young cops when they get in this. It ain't about the car chases. It's not about, you know, any of that, you know, stuff you see on TV. It's about the opportunity to help people every single day. And you have that opportunity every single day to help somebody. And it might be just a smile. You know, I tell them, don't be lemon suckers. Don't walk around like you just sucked a lemon. And a lot of cops do that. You know, they walk around like that all the time. Smile. Just smile. You'd be surprised somebody might smile back at you. It was interesting when I went to St. Matthews. I was a police chief in St. Matthews for 3.5 years. St. Matthews is a lot smaller than Irmo. But every car you pass in St. Matthews, guess what they did? Wave. It's like I grew up in Aiken. You know, they waved. You come to Columbia, somebody throws a hand up, and you don't see all 5 fingers. But, you know, but why can't we be different and smile? And if you notice, we've tried to change our image. If you look on the back of our cars, some years ago we started putting peace officer on the back of it. I think it's on the back of my shirt. And I did that one time and it wasn't back there, so I always have to check. And why is a peace officer? Our job is to keep the peace. It's not just to go out here and lock people up. Sometimes that's part of it. Our job is to be peace officers. Blessed are the peacemakers, they shall be called the children of God. It's in the Bible. Peace officers. So why not put it on our uniforms and put it on our cars? Because that's the image that we should portray. And we had a company, we had an organization that paid for all of that. We didn't pay for this. They approached me and said, look, we're trying to change the narrative about what y'all do in law enforcement. When you say law enforcement, it's like all you do is enforce the law, but we do so much more. I got 97 school resource officers, 97. They're not locking kids up every day. They're doing all kind of stuff with kids every single day to help them. I had a group that's called Project Hope. They go out and visit senior citizens every day. There's things we do that's just not putting people in jail. So the peace officer fits more what our image is. I got sheriff on mine. They'll have deputy sheriffs on. We can do that part, but let's do the other part too. Let's do the peace officer part where we just keep the peace. Where those 2,700 mental health calls we go on, that we're just not taking somebody and putting them in the detention center because that's the easiest thing to do. Let's get them the help that they need. Let's reach out and help them. That's what we should be doing. That's what a peace officer is all about. That's what all these over here that the cops sit here, that's what we go to work every single day to do. So what I'd like to do right now is if anybody's got any questions, answer some questions. I know this ain't that bashful of a group. All right. The biggest Gamecock fan in the room besides me just stood up right there.
First of all, thank you for being here, and thank you for being a sheriff of the people and for the people. My question is, probably about a month ago, there was a 12-year-old in upstate school who took the life of another 12-year-old. And I have a 12-year-old niece, so it makes me fearful for her at school. But when you're out and about and you're talking to the legislators, what are we doing to try to hold those parents responsible for these guns that kids get their hands on at home? Because we all know that 12-year-old did not go out and buy that gun.
All right. And what we do is we follow up, and if we can show neglect on a parent that gave that child that opportunity to get that gun, then we're going to hold the parents responsible. I will tell you, my direction to our investigators is when we have these 8, 9, and 10 years old at 3 o'clock in the morning, we're following up. Why didn't the parents know about it? And if we can, we're going to hold them accountable. And if that means charging them, we're going to charge them. It's just, my daughter Mackenzie's 18 years old. I got Life 360 on her phone. I know where she's at all the time. She's in college. I know where she's at. If her gets over a certain speed, she's getting a text from me or a call from me saying, "You better slow down." And I tell her all the time, I am not your best friend. I am your daddy. And you don't pay for that phone. You don't pay for anything. I do it. So there's going to be rules. Kids won't. That's how you demonstrate that you love a child, is by setting rules for them. If you just let them run free and do whatever, that's not showing that you love them. You got to set rules and hold them accountable for it. So I'm a little different.
Yes, thank you for coming. We've enjoyed you so much. But I live in Irmo. I have a business in the city, and I have 3 in Richland County. And I just want to mention that I'm there in Richland County to help wherever we can. We offer, classes to kids, cooking camps. We do whatever we need to bring the community together in Richland County.
Well, thank you. And follow up a little bit on what she just said. Now, I talked about what scares me during the summer, the kids being out. Those 97 school resource officers, when school's over with, they don't take a vacation for the summer. We run summer camps. The Sheriff's Department sponsors summer camps, and we don't charge for the kids to go to the summer camps. Have computer camps, athletic camps, painting camps. We have different things. Not every child wants to be an athlete, but every child has an interest in something. What we have to do is find out what that something is and then give them an avenue to go out and do that. So, we'll be doing summer camps all summer.
Is there a foundation that we can contribute funds to help you make that possible?
Since you mentioned that, and that was not a plant. That was not a plant question. We do have the Richland County Sheriff's Foundation, and our foundation is citizens and business people that raise money in different ways. If I go speak somewhere and they want to pay me to speak, I'll take the money, but it goes in our foundation to this stuff that we do with kids. So our foundation raises money through a golf tournament and other means, and that's how they support these programs that we got. I'm blessed with a county council that's always been very supportive. They've never played Republican, Democrat with me. It's always, this is what needs to be done. So I hear other sheriffs that tell horror stories that they don't get support from their council. I do. I've been very blessed with that. the joke around county council is if the sheriff asks for it, he gets it. So it's, for 26 years, it's been good. So we're going to keep it that way. But they do support us too on programs that we want to do.
Captain Hapler is incredibly involved with this chamber. He's done an excellent job sort of bridging the gap between your department and the members of this chamber. Can you kind of address the, I guess, the gang situation that you fight every day in Richland County?
And I will shock you and tell you that last year we had 32 murders. Only 2 of them was gang related. So gangs are not what's driving our crimes and our murders up. So we got gangs, but we're not having gangs that are controlling neighborhoods and just going out here and just having gang wars and shooting up all the time. It's most of it, the young people we see involved in stuff, it's over respect. You know, bullying, when most of us grew up, bullying was done face to face, bullying done with this right here. And so you can say all kind of stuff and you disrespect me over that, then I'm going to go shoot you. That doesn't have anything to do with a gang. The 16-year-old that just got killed this weekend didn't have anything to do with a gang. They was involved in something with a gun sale, but a gang. So we do have gangs, but the reason our gangs are not dominant as they were back in early 2000 was because everybody knows about them now. Back in 98, 99, when I started talking about gangs, nobody wanted to believe we had gangs. And people put their head in the sand and allowed the gangs just to grow and grow and grow. And then when a bunch of kids got killed and people said, oh my God, we do have gangs, and people got involved. And so, you know, people know how to recognize gang activity now, so we have the support of the community where we didn't have it to begin with. So gangs are not driving our crime. There's a lot of other stuff, but it's not gangs. You still like me even though I told a joke on you? Oh my God, thank you, Chip.
My anticipation is that we will probably have a vote taken on medical marijuana before we leave the legislature this year. Number one, what are you seeing with the fentanyl in certainly our communities in Richland County? But your thoughts as far as the medical marijuana, if it does get put in place?
The fentanyl is killing people every single day. The 2 people that were shot yesterday involved fentanyl. So fentanyl, we need to do a lot more with our laws and make those laws stricter. And we also need to do more on charging the people who put the poison on the street. If he's a fentanyl dealer, he knows it's poison and he sells it to these people over here and 5 of them die, that he needs to be charged with murder because he killed them. He might not have shot them with a gun, but he killed them by putting that poison. So we need to do a better job on doing that. I am totally against recreational use of marijuana and people just walking around smoking dope and high all the time. Can't handle that. The medical part, if it goes through with the safeguards that's in it, I think it'll be workable. I think that's something we can probably work with, but it's got to have a lot of safeguards in it. I've been to places where it's open smoking dope, and working in 9 years of narcotics, I've seen people die from too much drugs, and so you know, the legislature's got a tough decision to make on that one.
The relationship between Richland County and Lexington County and how you work together, because in Irmo we have both counties. So when you talk about all the things that you do there, is it the same with Lexington County, or do they kind of run their own show?
We pretty much do the same thing. I'm friends with Jay Kuhn. So one thing that's very unique about law enforcement in South Carolina is we don't fight over jurisdictional lines. So, you know, if I've got some equipment and Irmo needs it, they get it. If they need help in something, I'm the largest law enforcement agency in the state. I got 900 people. I got all the toys. I got everything you need. But we share them. So whatever I have, the chief's going to have it. What Lexington, so we work together. So the jurisdictional lines don't interfere in what we do. Lexington, I don't know if they have all the programs that we've got, but they got a lot of programs too. We tend to work together. We share stuff. So it's different when you go, particularly up north. The sheriff and the chief in places don't even speak to each other. They don't have nothing to do with each other. You don't have that here. So we don't look at the jurisdictional line. So yes, y'all are very unique. You've got City of Columbia, you got Richland County, you got Lexington, you got Irmo. To me, when I look at that, that's 4 agencies you got to work on a problem if you got one, and not pass it off to somebody else. Don't be asking for my people, though. Okay, now I can't have none of my people. Thank you.
Sheriff Lott, thank you for all that you do. Always entertaining when you come here. Thank you for being with us today. If you guys will get your tickets out, we got tons of really fantastic stuff up here for our door prizes. And a big thank you to Mid-Carolina Electric. Y'all always come out and do everything top notch. So to your team, fantastic. We love y'all. Thank you so much. Okay, first up, we have a fabulous blanket from Mid-Carolina Electric, and I know a lot of y'all want this, so look at your ticket, okay? Hold on, I gotta put my glasses on because I can't see. 119. 119? All right. Well done. Okay, next up, we've got a cup. We've got a Coffee Talker cup, a Bart's Crazy Good Coffee Talker cup right here, and that is going to go to 159. Oh, Lila, we have those. We might have a few of those at the house. All right, next up we've got, let's see, we've got a bundt cake. Lisa, thank you for bringing the bundt cakes. 140. All right. And nothing but, it's a buntlet. Yes. Okay, next up we've got a snack box from Chef Jay at the Art of Charcuterie, and that's going to be 185.
And Morgan's not here, so he can't win it.
Yeah, Morgan can't win it. All right, fantastic. Okay, and next up we've got a $30 gift card, a Spotify gift card, courtesy of Cutthroat Marketing. And that's going to go to 104. 104? No? Okay, next up. Let's see, 111. Nobody listens to Spotify? Oh, did you get it, David? Oh, okay. Oh, you could download your prints. 112. Okay, Janice. Okay, good. Okay, we've got another buntlet up here, and courtesy of Nothing Bundt Cakes, and that is 153. All right, David. You'll have to give it to George. I know you don't eat sweets, right? Okay. We have little retro pop-up lantern, and this is from Mid-Carolina Electric. And that's going to go to 121. Jackson! Come on up here, Jackson. This is yours. There you go, buddy. Okay, and Janice tells me this is not wine. This is a Tervis tumbler and a stainless steel tumbler. And that's going to go to, oh gosh, I hate going blind, 170. 170? All right, Karen. Okay, next up we have a maintenance agreement worth $189 to Castle Brothers. That'll go to 114. 114? All right. See what happens? There you go. Okay, and now we've got it's a junior suite with breakfast at the DoubleTree. Always a wonderful, wonderful stay. And that goes to 143. Betty! Okay, and we've got one more Coffee Talker mug, and that goes to 177. Yes. All right. You better be representing with that stuff tomorrow morning with your coffee. Okay, everyone, thank you so much for being here today. This was a wonderful crowd for spring break. Y'all have a great rest of your week. We'll see you next month.